There you are. Welcome to the American Sentinel. My name is Patty Ramsey, and I have one question for you. Are you happy with Maga yet? Have your dreams came true? Are you trusting the plan? Are you so tired of winning that you're gonna win so much you're gonna be tired of winning? Are you happy yet? Let me ask, I'm sure you boomers are happy. You know why I'm happy? Cause the Lord's people, Israel, he's recognizing the Lord's people. And the Lord said, whoever blesses Israel shall be blessed, and whoever curses them will be cursed. So let me ask you real quick. I want to get into like the 18 to 40 year olds, the younger people, especially young white men, right? Are you happy yet? Are you so fucking tired of winning yet? I know I am. It's all a fucking joke. The real question is, for all you MAGA Q-tards out there, you fucking boomer Q-tard moms, are you really ready to admit that your president, who you thought was chosen by God because he was spared from a bullet in Butler, Pennsylvania, that was the Lord's plan? Are you willing to admit that he's probably on Epstein's client list? Are you willing to admit yet that your beloved president is on Epstein's client list? And people are going to say, Patty, I thought she was a Republican. I thought she was a conservative. Yeah, I am a conservative. I am a far-right conservative. I am so far-right that I am an ethno-nationalist. I am more right-wing than you are. I think that abortion doctors should be imprisoned. I do. I think the LGBTQ community marches and pride parades should be shut down in the streets. I want to see gangs of New York style clashes when that shit happens. I think that the degeneracy of our moral good and moral fiber in the public should be punishable by imprisonment. I am more far right than you. MAGA doesn't necessarily mean Donald Trump. Remember, he just rode on the MAGA wave. He rode in on the MAGA wave. You are MAGA. You are the people. You have the power. And that's what I've been trying to convince you of this whole fucking time. Donald Trump is powerless without you. Eric Swalwell from California, the senator from California, asked Kash Patel. You know Kash Patel, right? The director of the FBI, who would be probably better suited working in a call center asking you about your car's extended warranty. This cross-eyed fucking nightmare who couldn't solve the Charlie Kirk case, or probably fabricated large swaths of evidence in the Charlie Kirk case, goes before Congress today and says, and is asked by Eric Swalwell 13 to 15 different times, did you tell the Attorney General that President Trump is in the Epstein list? He wouldn't answer. He kept deflecting. He kept arguing. What does that tell you? It tells you what Eric Swalwell said to him at the end of the conversation. We will take your deflection as an admission of guilt. Of course Trump's on the list. He was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for years. Jeffrey Epstein introduced Trump to Melania, and you MAGA Republicans think that he's not on the list? Of course he's on the fucking list. Patty, I thought you was one of us. I thought you was a gun-toting right-wing Republican. Yeah, I am, but that don't make me fucking retarded. It makes me want to withhold my vote from people who don't represent me. You're starting to get the picture now? Trump isn't the say-all, end-all, be-all of MAGA. You are. You have the people. You are the people. You are. This is a government for the people, by the people, representative of the people. If Trump goes out and the next person comes in, it doesn't fucking matter as long as your needs are demonstrated to the government at large. As long as your wants are spoken for in power. Do you understand now? Do you understand now? And where does this begin and where does this end? Of course, it started with the Tea Party, right? If you remember back to 2014, 2015, the Tea Party was around. And these were what they called back then far-right Republicans by the Obama administration. He even had the IRS come and try to crack down against them. I was a Tea Party member. Many of you were. And out of that sprung this need for an outsider. Out of that sprung this need for someone like Trump to ride in on our Make America Great Again wave. America first. Globalists last. Leave our guns alone. Leave our children alone. Declare Antifa a terrorist organization. Get these fucking pride parades out of our city streets. Stop the war on white people. And then rose up Trump. But we didn't need Trump. We just needed anyone who would voice our opinion. And by the way, Trump's a lame duck. What does that mean? He doesn't have the opportunity to run for office again. And J.D. Vance is the fucking Palantir Software kid. He's a bought-off, disinterested third party. He only cares about the nation-state of Israel. So you better start thinking about what you're going to do in 2028. But you better start thinking about what you're going to do in 2026. And here's why. 2026, all across America, you have senator races. You have congressional races. You have mayoral races. You have city council, county commission races. And anybody can tell you, hey, I've been endorsed by Donald Trump. I'm a MAGA Republican. I'm a card-carrying Republican. Great. Also, take that card, bend over, and go fuck yourself with it because we don't care anymore. We want somebody who will say our name to power. In every major city in America, if you are a white person, you are 710 times more likely to be assaulted, attacked, or pledged violence against by a black or brown person. In places where you don't have the right to arm yourself, it goes up exponentially. That is the national average. And every year, these mayors come in. Every year, these city councilmen come in and go, I pledge $35 million to our black and brown underprivileged community to get these people out of poverty. Fuck those people. They're never coming out of poverty. What are you doing for me? What are you doing to keep white women like Irina Zaruska on the fucking light train in Charlotte, North Carolina from being stabbed to death? What are you doing to keep homosexual LGBTQ trans pedophiles out of my school system? What are you doing for me? That's what you need to ask your people when they tell you to throw your vote away or throw your vote away for them because they wear a little elephant and say, I'm Republican like you. I'm Republican like you. You're not Republican like me because I come from the old school Irish Republican family. And do you know what that means? We take a little bit of political action against those who don't represent our needs, love. And that's what you don't want to see here in America. By the way, I go to Belfast quite often, and there are still remnants of political violence there from the 90s and 80s when I was a kid. There's still rocket holes in the middle of the bars. You don't want to see that in America. I'm telling you this both as a civic population left and right, but I'm telling you on the left for sure. Antifa, all you LGBTQ tranny queer army armed queers, John Brown Army, you don't want it. Because right now you may be willing to commit violence, but you are not capable like us. We are 90% of the military. We are 90% of the former police, former military, gun owners, all of that, tactical civilians. And the minute that flip is switched and someone says, okay, it's legal to go, then we will leave a trail of you that looks like busted tomato soup. You don't want that smoke. You don't need that energy. And I'm telling you, you better curb it. You better curb it quick. And for those politicians who claim to represent us and don't, you better either start getting your fucking ducks in a row and representing the people The people who vote for you, who commit their money and their dollar and their value and their time to getting you elected. You better start seeing it our way. You better start mentioning our name. You better learn to say the fucking word white. A young individual lady was murdered on the subway? No, a white girl was murdered because she was white. Shannon, Christian, and Chris Newsom were murdered in Knoxville, Tennessee by black people because they were white. She was stuffed in a trash can because she was white. He was shot in the back of the neck and head and burned on the railroad tracks 25 yards from my house because he was white. And you won't say it. But what will you say? When violence occurs, what will you say? I'll tell you what they'll say. How will I know? It's not predictive analytics. This isn't me fortune telling. I'm not giving you predictive analytics. I'm not going to read your palm or look in a crystal ball to tell you what they say. I'm going to do what banks do. If you go to the bank and say, I need a mortgage, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to start working, I'm going to get off my lazy fucking ass, the bank's going to say, sorry, we don't give loans to people like you. Come back and see us in a few years when you've straightened yourself out. I'm going to do what banks do. I'm going to judge you based on what you've always fucking done. Last week on September 10th, Charlie Kirk sat down to debate people at the University of Utah. And instead of being able to debate, he was shot in the throat by either someone named Tyler Christopher Robinson, or someone else. It's all up for grabs right now. We truly don't know. But either way, he was shot. He was shot, and who benefited? Cui bono. That was the old Latin philosophy. You always look for who has the most to benefit when transactional violence occurs. Cui bono, Latin, who benefits? Who benefited the most? Well, let me pull the fucking list. Let me bring the receipts, baby. You thought that your people were going to go up and stand up for you because they had had enough? Charlie Kirk's been murdered in the fucking streets, and they're going to finally stick up for you? No, this is what happened. Israel gets more aid. $25 billion for the Iron Dome, $25 billion, $250 million for civil defense and recruiting. Ratification of the Anti-Boycott Act in the Congress, which means if your state boycotts Israel or denies Israel, then if your state then has a natural disaster emergencies, your state is not entitled to FEMA funds. Wow. So if you have something negative to say against God's chosen people, then what happened in Hurricane Helen in North Carolina, where 109 people died and 5 people are still missing? We don't even know where they are. We watched the videos on TikTok where the grandmother and the grandfather were sitting on the roof of the flood, on the roof of the house during the flood, and the water's going, and then the roof goes, and then the 6-year-old and the grandpa and grandpa die. Trump didn't give a fuck. What happened now? I live in Appalachia. I can tell you what happened. Tech billionaires buying up Sevier County, Tennessee, Cosby, Tennessee, Blount County, Tennessee. They just spent $450 million buying up all the land around here for cobalt resourcing. Yeah, Trump didn't do anything for us. He don't give a fuck about us. But if something like that happens and our state doesn't bow down to the Lord's chosen people now, then we don't even get FEMA. Figure it out, boys. Figure it out. And I know what you conspiracy theory people are going to say. They're manipulating the weather. Duh. That's not a conspiracy theory anymore. The HARP is a real thing. They have companies who do geoengineering, who do cloud seeding. It's all, everything that you would have told me was a conspiracy theory 20 years ago is now just for sale. Now it's just facts. Now it's just open market. What else did you get? When Charlie Kirk gets shot in the neck and you thought that your representatives were going to go stand up for you as a knee-jerk reaction, us white Christian conservative Tea Party types, we're tired of being fucked over. Our representatives are going to do something for us. Here's what they got. Israel gets close to $3 billion worth of more aid. and you get abandoned by FEMA if you have a natural disaster, if you boycott or deny Israel. And then the Senate votes 49 to 52 not to disclose the Epstein files. And Trump comes out and says, we don't want to disclose the Epstein files because it's a liberal hoax. It's a Democrat hoax. Motherfucker, you ran on that hoax. You came down the escalator on that hoax. Remember that? You said Pizzagate, QAnon, all these fucking Epstein listers, we're going to get to the bottom of all of it. And now the minute that it looks like you're on the list, and we want to see that list as the general civic public, it's a hoax? Bitch, you ran on the fucking hoax. You told us it was real. That was your homeboy. That was your people. That was your folk. That was your kin. You was kicking it with them. And now it's a hoax? Charlie Kirk gets shot. You thought your representatives were going to go to bat for you. And what did they do? Marco Rubio introduces a bill through his constituent office assistants while he is actually in Israel kissing the wall with Benjamin Netanyahu, Benjamin Milikowski Netanyahu, kissing the fucking wall. His people introduce a bill to the Congress that says, if you as a person, as an American person, defame, boycott, or blood libel Israel, you can have your passport restricted. The freedom to travel is a constitutional right. The freedom to move and travel unrestricted by your government is a constitutional right. Remember, America, your rights don't come from Marco Rubio or any other person in the government. Your rights are God-given rights, which means you were born with certain unalienable rights that our founding fathers fought, bled, and died for. But not if you disrespect the Lord's chosen people. Ems is God's people over there. Are you fucking retarded? Are you that fucking stupid? Are you happy yet? Are you getting what you wanted? You're gonna be so happy. You're gonna win so much you're gonna be tired of winning. I haven't won a fucking thing. What grand prize in hell have I won? White people or when he went into office in 2024, white people were only 610 times more likely to be assaulted, raped, killed, mugged by a person of color. Now we're 719 according to the National Police Reports and Department of Justice statistics. Are you happy? Are you glad you voted MAGA? Well, Patty Ramsey, what's the cure? If we don't vote for Republicans, then we'll get Kamala. If we don't vote for Republicans, then we'll get Hillary. Yeah, I've been hearing this same stupid fucking shit since I was a little kid. I've watched my dad walk into the voting booth ever since the Bob Dole days and say, man, I am voting for the less of two evils here. I can't stand either one of them, but at least Bob Dole's not going to take my guns away. At least Bob Dole's not going to A, B, C, and D. Or at least George Bush or George W. Bush or George H.W. Bush isn't going to A, B, and C. But what do we see? That they are two wings of the same bird committing the same treason against the same civic population that they swore to protect. They are the same wings. You thought you were getting MAGA, white ring Republican, American first? What are you getting? You thought you were getting MAGA, right wing Republican first, someone who was finally going to stick up for your white ring, right wing Christian values? We're going to import 500,000 Chinese tech workers in a visa exchange, student exchange. Great. So now you get to go to college for 4 years for computer science or network engineering. But don't worry, you won't get a job because they will import Chinese students who are probably going to be military-age spies who are going to leak national secrets to China to take your fucking jobs. Oh, you thought you were going to do something great for this country? Grow up? Do all the right things, go to college, get a degree, commit yourself to the workforce. Trump just signed something today. Trump just signed an executive order to expedite. Do you know what expedite means? That means to speed it up rapidly. To expedite the H-1B and 5-2B visa process for Indian nationals to come to America. Yay! Now we can have stank-ass Pajeets like Usha Vance and Kash Patel streaming down the highways in tractor trailers that they shouldn't be driving in the first place, crashing into everybody and killing everybody, and taking all the tech jobs from the people who were born and raised and worked hard in this country so that they could become something, so that they could enter the workforce with a reasonable dollar value to live on. Trump signs into office today, expeditiously importing new H-1B and 5B visas from India to replace you in the jobs, to replace you in the workforce, to replace you in the tractor trailers. Why would they want to replace? Why? And by the way, why are there so many Indian tractor trailer drivers now? You can't go down any interstate in America without seeing tractor trailer drivers all wearing turbans or a dot on their head, Pakistani, Indian. Why? Think about it, you fucking retard. Think about it, you short-minded, short-memory individual. Truckers were the last swaths, the last group in the North American area who were manly, patriot people. When the Stop the Steal movement happened in 2020, truckers drove from all across America. The Great Trucker Rally drove from California to Washington, D.C. I was there. I had an office in Easton, Maryland when that happened. And you couldn't even get into Baltimore. You couldn't get into D.C. There were trucks everywhere. You don't remember? How about this one on? Try this one on for size. Canada tries some bullshit where they put Justin Trudeau in yet again. Who shows up? The Canadian truckers. The Canadian truckers, the big burly men with big burly beards, they showed up and they shut down the highways near the Capitol. Governments can't have that. You want to go against your government? You may not feel the sting of losing it all right now, but over the next few years... Yeah, I'm here to put in my application as a truck driver. Oh, I'm sorry. We just hired Pajeet Namarinda. We just hired Kash Patel's cousin. We just hired Muhammad Mamdani. Thank you, buddy. I am truck driver now. Wake the fuck up. They are using humans as biological warfare. Replacement migration is real. They are taking people that don't belong in your area from other places and transplanting them to your area as a method to destabilize you, to destabilize the life that you deserve. And of course, they all say the same thing. We just wanted a better life. I just wanted a better life. We just wanted to come to America for a better opportunity. I want a better opportunity. I want more for my children. And what's the difference? My cousin was killed in combat. Every single iteration of genealogy, matrifamilial and patrifamilial in my lineage has served in America's wars, has built America's countries since the 1700s. That's the difference between you and me. We buried our bones from Virginia to Kentucky to Georgia to Tennessee, trying to make something out of this country before it was anything. And then all of you showed up and said, "Hey, I'm American now, motherfucker." You are not American now. I will never see you as America. And for those of you arriving in England from India and Pakistan, let me break you down something that my buddy Hugh Anthony just got through saying. You will never be seen as English. You will never be seen as Irish. You will never be us. You will never assimilate to be us. Your children will never be our children. We will never accept you as us. Only the weakest-minded liberals among us will. Not every white person is English, but every English person is white. Now, we're a bit different here in America because we are a nation based on immigration. I get that because that's what we've been told since we were a kid. We're a nation of immigrants. Fuck that. I didn't come from immigrants. I came from settlers. I came from founders. I came from people who chopped down the trees and made log cabins and then constructed civic populations and cities out of nothing. And now that the hard work has been done, now that the skyscrapers are built, and now that it's time for the people in my familial lineage who did all this so that me and my children and their grandchildren could have something, now that the fruits of the labor are ready to be reaped, you guys hop off a fucking camel at the fucking airport and say, I am American too, buddy. And you steal my destiny, you steal my birthright, and you want me to accept you? Fuck that. Fuck that. And when these fucking politicians roll around seeking your vote, as Republicans, as right-wingers, as ethno-nationalists, as whatever you may be, remember what I fucking told you. Remember what I told you. If enough of you hold your vote away from them once, they'll never do it again. And you say, well, if the Democrats win, we'll be fucked. No, you won't be fucked. Remember, they're both just two wings of the same bird. If you as Republicans withhold your vote for one voting cycle, it will spank them and sting them and teach them the lesson that we've had enough. Or maybe you haven't had enough. I don't know. Maybe you haven't had enough. Maybe you haven't had enough. I'm Patty Ramsey. This is the American Sentinel. Have you had enough? I've had enough. Have you had enough? Have you had enough of seeing white people ganged on TikTok, beat down in the bathrooms of their schools, shot, murdered, killed, and then you see some Jewish judge say, the assailant was found too mentally non-competent or incompetent to stand trial. They're going to go to a luxurious Fort Med, Club Med, mental hospital instead, and you're going to pay for it. Thanks, government. Wow. I've had enough. I hope you've had enough.